오늘은 저녁 약속이 있는 날이라서 이렇게 한번 입어봤어요. 스마트 캐주얼로 입으라는 드레스 코드가 있어서 나름대로 집에 있는 것들 중에서 골라봤어요. 탑은 예전에 모노아에서 보내주셨던 제품이고요. 귀걸이는 이거 착용해봤습니다. 바지는 제가 최근에 구매했던 세틴 바지 입어줬고요. 오늘은 이 가방 들고 나가보려고 해요. 그럼 저는 이렇게 입고 다녀오겠습니다.
We opened Untitled about 100 years ago. Matt started his career at Ad-Hoc in viewer activity. Very true.
Wish you knew me at 19. Back then I wasn't talking to anyone but me. Though when I think about it, that wouldn't even make a difference. When you feel no feels that you make that your mission. Oh, the others are a nuisance. Everything before this, now I know it's practice. I don't have a game plan, I don't have a tactic, no. I just let it all happen.
But of course you're gonna say, my house
I'll drive up the 5 to see you pull in the light. What a beautiful life. Now the timing is right. I never could get that right. Hope we don't end goodbye. Though when I think about it, I wouldn't even make a difference. When you feel feels like you make that your mission. Oh, the others are a nuisance. Everything before this, now I know it's practice. I don't have the game I know you come as you please, still I wait so patiently. Your kiss is so heavenly, you made a pagan believe. Your love is safe with me, I'm done with self-misery. Your touch is so heavenly, you made a pagan believe. You made a pagan believe. Your touch is so heavenly. Your touch is so heavenly. You made a pagan believe. I know God is a woman, 'cause you showed me how to love. Nothing seems so important, then you came and showed me up. I've been praying for something to believe in other than me back since 2013. I know that I shouldn't put you on a pedestal, 'cause everything is great and I need to be more critical, but I'm so sick of watching paint dry, staring out the window, hands tied. So I'ma break loose, I'ma head to the sky, giving me life in the dead.